Okay, let's unpack this. When most of us think of Donna Summer's Love to Love You Baby, we picture something really specific.
That massive disco hit, the sound, the whole vibe.
Exactly, that iconic, sensual, disco anthem. But what happens when you actually look at the entire album it comes from?
Yeah.
So today, we're doing a deep dive that goes, well, way beyond just the surface of the seminal piece of music history.
It's a really important one.
Totally. Our mission here is to unpack Donna Summer's 1975 album, Love to Love You Baby, focusing not just on, like, the famous title track everyone knows,
Right.
but the whole lyrical landscape it lays out. We're pulling the key insights straight from the album details and, crucially, the complete lyrics of all 6 tracks.
And those lyrics are quite something when you look at them together.
Oh, definitely. So, while you probably know the, let's say, sensual reputation of that lead single, I think you're about to be pretty surprised by the emotional depth and the contrasting themes woven through the rest of this classic Eurodisco record.
Yeah.
This deep dive, it basically offers you a shortcut to understanding the full and honestly quite unexpected story of this essential album.
What's really fascinating here, I think, is how this album from 75, it moves from this one very well-known expression of, intense desire into a much more complex emotional journey. We'll be looking at Donna Summer herself, the album title, the genre, Eurodisco, and yeah, like you said, crucially, the lyrics themselves.
And connecting those dots.
Exactly, connecting those dots to show you a story you might not have expected at all.
Okay, so let's set the stage a bit. Our sources, they confirm the basics. Artist, Donna Summer. Album title, Love to Love You Baby, year is 1975. And the genre, Eurodisco.
Right, the classic sound.
Yeah, and for anyone maybe less familiar, Eurodisco often blended these lush orchestral arrangements with a real driving, pulsating beat. It created this shimmering, often very sensual soundscape.
Very atmospheric.
Totally. And Donna Summer became, well, the queen of this, really. And this album is just a prime example of how that sound could be used for, well, a lot more than just dance music.
Absolutely, there's depth there.
So the album itself, it has 6 tracks. There's the famous Love to Love You Baby, obviously. Then Full of Emptiness, Need 'Em End Blues, Whispering Waves, Pandora's Box, and then, interestingly, a reprise of Full of Emptiness right at the end.
Yeah, that reprise is key, isn't it?
It really is. That immediate repetition of Full of Emptiness at the close, it almost signals like a deliberate thematic anchor.
It totally does. It's
Yeah.
almost like it's taking apart that happily ever after idea that disco sometimes, projected.
Right.
It shows that even in the middle of all that euphoria, the underlying human experience is still, well, dealing with loss, profound loss.
Yeah.
There's a very early hint that this album isn't quite what you think it is just from the cover or the title track.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting when we zone in on the title track itself, Love to Love You Baby.
The monster hit.
The one everyone knows. The song, obviously, it's built on repetition. I love to love you, baby, over and over. But scattered through that are these really evocative lines that set that intense, intimate mood. You get lines like, when you're laying so close to me, there's no place I'd rather you be than with me here.
So direct.
So direct. And then later, do it to me again and again. You put me in such an awful spin, in a spin.
Right, that famous vocalization.
Exactly. It just perfectly captures that feeling of complete surrender, Lay your head down real close to me, soothe my mind, and set me free. Set me free.
And if we, zoom out a bit from just the words, the track isn't just about what's being said, is it?
No, not at all.
It's deliberate simplicity. It's almost this hypnotic loop. It's designed to build this incredible all-consuming mood.
Yeah.
It's about what's implied, through the rhythm, through these very direct, sensual pleas. It sets this incredibly specific, high-intensity bar for pleasure and intimacy right at the start of the album.
Okay, so after that really intense opening, what does it all mean when we look at the other 5 tracks? Because, wow, the emotional landscape takes this dramatic, almost jarring turn.
Right, it's whiplash almost.
Totally. Immediately after those passionate highs at the title track, bam, we hit Full of Emptiness.
Yeah.
It's a complete thematic shift. And like we said, it even gets that reprise at the end. It feels almost like the emotional hangover from that first track's intensity.
That's a good way to put it, the come down.
Exactly. The lyrics here, they just dive straight into heartbreak and this really profound loss. Stuff like, full of emptiness, broken promises, and love turned out so sad, the hurt goes on and on.
Oof.
Yeah. And there's this clear, almost tangible sense of being abandoned. Hello, loneliness. Good friends will mind the sands of time have slipped through my hands.
That line about the sands of time.
Hmm.
Powerful.
It is, and that feeling of being just like utterly discarded is so palpable when she sings, "From the bottom to the top, why he had me feeling fine. Then I took a long, long drop when he walked out of my life, my world full of emptiness."
My first impression hearing these lyrics right after the title track is just how much it subverts your expectations.
Right.
This isn't just, sadness. It's a really profound sense of abandonment, disillusionment, and having that reprise at the end, it truly anchors the whole album in this feeling of lingering sorrow.
It does.
It shows this isn't just a fleeting emotion for the character or the narrative. It's something pervasive, central. It's such a bold move, honestly, to follow pure ecstasy with such deep melancholy.
Yeah, it really is. So moving from that kind of raw vulnerability, where do we land next? Well, track 3, Need a Man Blues, it actually brings us to this incredibly relatable, almost mundane kind of yearning.
More grounded.
Yeah, exactly. It kicks off with this really poignant description of just everyday loneliness. Another Monday morning, another 5-day week ahead.
Yeah.
Such a lonely weekend, sleeping in a half-filled bed.
We've all felt that kind of Sunday night dread or Monday morning blues.
Totally. And the blunt expression of desire is just right there, no frills. Got those need a man blues, and I need a man so bad. Got those need a man blues, and it's driving me mad.
No ambiguity there.
None at all. There's even this mention of a coping mechanism, a bit of self-medication, Whiskey friend of mine, help me make it easy without.
Yeah, the whiskey.
And it contrasts her isolation with, quote, all the evening people dressing up just to get undressed, this whole world of social connection that she feels completely outside of.
This track really grounds the emotional journey in a very human, almost universal loneliness, doesn't it?
It really does.
It provides such a stark contrast to the big drama of the first track and the deep sorrow of full of emptiness. It's not about grand passion or crushing despair here. It's more the quieter, everyday ache of just wanting companionship. It adds another layer, really, to that whole post-breakup experience, showing those quiet moments of longing.
Okay, then we get to Whispering Waves, that's track 4. And this one, it paints this very visual, almost cinematic picture of memory, of a lingering presence.
Yeah, you can almost see it.
You can. She's by the shore of the sea, searching for his memory, sifting sand through my hand, weighing what he means to me.
The imagery is so strong.
And nature even seems to play a role, like it's empathizing with her. In the early morning haze, seagulls seem to cry my pain, and the ocean feels it too, sighs his name on whispering waves.
Wow. The ocean sighing his name.
Isn't that incredible? And the details are just so specific and poignant. Things like wrote his name next to mine, big and deep there in the sand, or the memory of a bistro where we would dine each evening, candlelight and California wine.
Little snapshots of the relationship.
Exactly. And then the heartbreaking persistence of, I still go past each night, look for his car outside, still looking.
Ouch. Yeah.
But the finality of it all is just stark. Then one morning he was gone, and our story reached an end.
The detail here is really striking because it's not just like abstract sadness. It feels tangible, almost like a ritual, this remembrance.
Yeah, like she's going through the motions of remembering.
Exactly. And tying that personal loss to the vastness of the ocean, which consistently, quote, breathes his name on whispering waves.
Yeah.
That really deepens the track. It's not just her crying anymore. It feels like the whole world is crying with her.
Yeah.
It reveals this deep yearning for a connection that's just gone, severed, and a real reluctance to let go of the past.
And that leads us finally to Pandora's Box, track 5, which I think really brings a lot of these emotional threads together. It almost acts as an explanation for everything else.
Kind of the why behind the sadness.
Precisely. This track gets right into themes of betrayal, broken promises, the sheer pain of vulnerability. There's this initial regret, a sense of, if only I'd known, if I had known of what would come, I might have walked out of here a lot less harmed.
Hindsight, yeah. Painful hindsight.
Definitely. And the core metaphor obviously is right there in the title, and it just perfectly sums up the experience. Oh, when you opened up your love to me, you opened up Pandora's box, and then later, oh, when I opened up the door to you, I opened up Pandora's box.
This is such a powerful metaphor for love gone wrong, letting someone in and unleashing chaos and pain.
And the bitterness of that broken trust is just palpable. Oh, promises are made to be broken. That's all I ever learned from loving you. And then promises are made to bend and stretch. Oh, and end up being really worthless.
That's cynical, but born from experience in the song's narrative.
Absolutely. And the consequences of letting her guard down are laid bare. I went with my defenses down as your love sent me spinning round. And then that parallel to full of emptiness, you took me to the very top. And then I took a bad, long, long
That's
drop,
that drop again.
leading to that ultimate feeling of isolation. I was sentenced to loving you, and I'm serving time in solitude.
Wow. Serving time in solitude. This track really does act as a powerful capstone, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
It provides the why behind the emptiness and the blues that kind of soak through the second half of the album.
Yeah.
It frames all that preceding heartbreak as a direct consequence of opening yourself up to love, to vulnerability. It's this profound moment of, like, critical reflection on failed relationships and the real cost of trust. It's almost a warning in a way.
Yeah.
But I wonder, does it maybe also offer a tiny hint of growth or lesson learned? Or is it just pure resignation at that point?
That's a great question. And it really leads us to think about the whole album, doesn't it? Putting all these pieces together. This isn't just a collection of songs. It feels like a meticulously crafted emotional narrative.
Absolutely.
I have to admit, really diving into these lyrics, it's a completely different album than the one I thought I knew just from, hearing the title track on the dance floor.
Yeah, me too. And stepping back a bit, what this deep dive really reveals is that Love to Love You Baby, the album, is just a masterclass in emotional range.
Right.
It's like a Trojan horse of melancholia almost,
Right.
smuggling this profound emotional vulnerability inside the most unlikely package, a massive Eurodisco record from 1975.
That's a perfect description. Trojan horse of melancholia.
It moves from that intense physical pleasure to this deep, almost philosophical reflection on heartbreak, loneliness, the dangers of vulnerability. It's really a journey from euphoria down to solitude and shattered trust. And understanding this broader context, it truly enriches your appreciation for Donna Summer as an artist, I think.
Yeah.
And it challenges those common perceptions of the genre itself.
Totally.
It shows a lyrical depth that, honestly, most people probably miss entirely if they only know the famous single.
So you've just taken a deep dive with us into Donna Summer's Love to Love You Baby album, discovering its, surprising lyrical depth and the powerful emotional spectrum it explores way beyond just the initial sensual hit.
Yeah, and this raises, I think, an important question for you, the listener.
Mm-hmm.
How does understanding the full lyrical journey of this album, from the repetitive pleasure of the title track all the way through to the profound heartbreak and loneliness in songs like Pandora's Box and Full of Emptiness, how does that change your perception of Donna Summer as an artist? And maybe even your perception of the expressive capabilities of the Eurodisco genre itself back there in the mid-'70s? Something to think about.